Manolo Blahnik. Manuel Manolo Blahnik Rodriguez is a Spanish fashion designer and founder of eponymous high-end shoe brand. Blahnik was born in Santa Cruz de la Palma in the Canary Islands, Spain, to a Zizek father and Spanish mother. His mother's family owned a banana plantation in the island city of Santa Cruz de la Palma, where he grew up alongside his sister Evangelina. He was homeschooled when he was a child. After he grew up, he attended a Swiss boarding school. Later, his parents wanted him to be a diplomat and enrolled him at the University of Geneva, majoring in politics and law. However, Blahnik changed his majors to literature and architecture. In 1965, he got his degree and moved to Paris to study art at the École des Beaux-Arts and stage set design. At the Louvre Art School, all while working at a vintage clothing shop. In 1969, he moved to London to work as a buyer at fashion boutique Feathers and wrote for L'Uomo Vogue, an Italian men's version of Vogue. In 1969, Blahnik had a chance to meet Diana Vreeland, the editor-in-chief of US Vogue, while he was traveling in New York. He then presented his portfolio of fashion and set designs to Vreeland, at which point she looked at him straight in the eye and said, "Young man, make things, make accessories, make shoes." Blahnik followed her advice and worked on designing shoes. In 1971, Ossie Clark invited him to create shoes for his runway show. He also designed shoes for other London fashion designers such as Jean Moore and Sandra Rhodes. From 1971, Blahnik was selling Manolo Blahnik shoes for Zapata. Blahnik bought the Zapata shoe company from its owner and opened his own boutique. In 1974, Blahnik became the second man ever to be featured on the cover of UK Vogue after Helmut Berger. In 1977, Blahnik created his first American collection. These were sold in 1978 through Bloomingdale's. Blahnik opened his first boutique in the US in 1979. Manolo Blahnik's flagship store remains in Old Church Street in Chelsea district of London. In 2000, Blahnik together with Neiman Marcus launched the first commercial virtual reality online showroom featuring 3D models of his shoes. The entire collection was sold out online within 3 weeks. Development. One of Blahnik's greatest inspiration was his mother. She studied fashion magazines and interpreted the latest fashion trend on her clothing. Blahnik and his family often traveled to Paris and Madrid ordering clothes. His mother was always dissatisfied with the shoes from their hometown, so she made her own. She learned the rudiments of her craft from a local Canary Island cobbler, and as a boy, Blahnik loved to watch his mother when she made beautiful shoes. He has inherited his mother's love for brocade and satin fabrics, and recounted how, as a boy, he found a trunk filled with shoes by the famous Russian Pierre Yantorny, all made from silks, antique lace, and brocades trimmed with delicate buckles. All were light, elegant, and feminine, attributes Blahnik later brought to his own designs. When Blahnik attended university, he lived with his aunt and uncle. Meanwhile, his aunt deeply influenced his fashion sense and style. He refined his taste and learned to appreciate the beauty of luxury, art, and happiness. Blahnik recalled that according to his aunt, happiness was having the single most elegant handbag ever made in every color available. Shoes. Blahnik never studied shoemaking formally. He learned the skills by visiting shoe factories and talking to pattern cutters, technicians, and machine operators. At first, he designed men's footwear, but he immediately found that men's shoe design limited his imagination and lacked the element of fashion, so he made focus on women's shoes. When mainstream shoe style was still dominated by clunky platforms in the 1970s, he revived the stiletto heels, which has since become a classic. Blahnik has worked wholeheartedly on his shoes. He not only draws the design of a pair of shoes but also handcrafts the shoes himself. He crafts the wood laths, which he then hand-sculpts the shoe onto. When the time comes for mass production, he oversees every step to ensure each shoe is an exact copy of his original creation. He always keeps every one of his designed 25,000 shoes are arranged in date order in paneled cupboards that filled up two adjoining houses and Georgian terrace in Bath. Manolo blahnik quality. Provocative in form, elegant in execution, each is a masterpiece of craftsmanship and artistic vision, fantastically light as a feather and yet utterly solid. Blahnik vividly applies and magnifies our nation of allure, utilizing supreme luxurious materials. His shoes are synonymous with modern opulence. Shoes are the quickest way for women to achieve instant metamorphosis. Manolo blahnik.